All right, welcome to Little Mac's Corner. This is going to be episode 2 of my Masters of Orion series, which I hope you've enjoyed the first one. The first episode, if you haven't seen the first episode yet, I'd recommend you watch it. It was pretty decent, gives a good introduction to the game, and it's going to basically help you understand how we got where we're at, but it's obviously not mandatory. So I hope this one works out as well as I think the last one did. All right, so for those of you who recall, we defeated the cat lady people, I forget their name, and got rid of all the pirates, which is the good news. The bad news is as you see, we are landlocked, or not exactly the right word, space locked, until we can research the necessary tools. So I'm right now, what I was thinking about this last night on what I wanted to do, and I think I'm going to focus we're like race. We need to survive by going to war is kind of my thought. And it's going to require us to get all the way, where was it? I think it was electromagnetic refraction. Yep. Okay, so it's going to let us go through the unstable warp points. So I'm going to just see. So can we just click on that and will it do it? So we got a lot of stuff to get done before we get there. So we might as well just go ahead and get started. And while that's doing its thing, I am going to basically start colonizing the heck out of anything we can colonize as quickly as possible. So hopefully by the time we're out, we should be in a pretty good position to expand. What's got me concerned is while we've kind of locked in a lot of space and we're pretty safe for the moment, we're still stuck with one planet really because it was a lot of back and forth with this one, so we're kind of starting from scratch. So to keep this from getting overly boring, though, I am going to attempt to keep this a fairly fast pace. I'll try and kind of talk, but at the end of the day, I'm not sure how much new is going to be going on here. All right, let's still get our destroyers back and healed up. I think they heal a little bit when they're out in space, but let's just go ahead and make sure we get that done. All right, we got our colony ship here on the way, and let's go. Fleet needs orders, so why don't you just guard so we don't have to click on you every single turn and go nuts. So yeah, there's just going to be a lot of turn pressing right now. So, you can kind of hear me babble. I'll try to keep talking to keep, things interesting if you want to watch. Oh, did they build another pirate base? That's interesting. So we had killed all the pirate bases and discovered that they can move them, we thought. Or maybe they just never go away. So it's looking like if a system's not occupied, it looks like they're just going to keep generating pirates, which is interesting. Oh, couple disclaimers or disclosures. One, I was absolutely being idiotic about the clone centers in just the sense that I was looking at them the wrong way. So I was corrected and essentially informed that the minus 25% means that it's minus 25% amount of time to get the next population unit. So that's good to know. I would argue, well, not argue is too strong a word, but I would say though that it could have been made a little bit more obvious what that was. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna own it. Just acknowledge the fact that I could have thought through that a little bit better than I did. And actually, with this, I could have also at least experimented on a planet and tried to figure it out as well. So, all right, if I recall correctly, there's a little monster down there, so we're not going to be colonizing that anytime soon. All right, this one, yeah, let's head over this way. That'll be a good one, I think. Okay. And I've been on the forums, and I've seen a lot of people very upset with the space lanes instead of the open and the non-turn-based tactical combat. One second. Still not anywhere in near the top 3 on that either. And my response to it, so in fact, let's do a tactical battle. So 2 versus 3, we're destroyers. We're going to get it up. So one, I like the presentation. I mean, I don't know, it just feels good. The combat feels good. So they've got that part down. I do agree it's a little simplistic, but I disagree that it's no tactical value at all. So if we look, and apparently you can turn the AI. Oh, see, so right now, if I disable the AI, the ships aren't going to do their own thing. So we don't really need to be doing all this, and hopefully, just like the pirate AI needs to be improved, hopefully they're going to improve. You know, and that's not really a fair thing because, I mean, they just were outclassed. But so for those of you who weren't aware, and I wasn't aware until I read the forums, up here, enable AI. There we go. If you disable it, you know, so if I clicked on it, so that's what I did initially. I disabled it, so now we can enable it. The computer will stop moving your ships for you. And that's, you know, that's pretty helpful. I still haven't figured out about this battle highlights. I had some speculation at first, and I still... The only thing I can think is the kind of strongest units, and it's telling us that was a Destroyer 3, and it had Merculite, you know, giving you an indication of what they're equipped with. But I'm still... I think they could do a better job of letting us know what exactly that's trying to communicate. So as I was saying, I absolutely liked the space lanes for reasons I discussed during my last episode. I mean, trying to make this like Galactic Civilization would just be silly because, you know, they're not going to be able to make Galactic Civilization as good as Galactic Civilization. So trying to completely just copy them, I think, would have been setting themselves up for failure. And for all the reasons I discussed during the last playthrough, I much prefer the lanes. In regards to tactical combat, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a design choice, and here's the reality of life. Not everybody is ever going to agree on a design choice. I mean, dear Lord, we can't agree what the favorite best soda is. You know, Pepsi, Coke. I mean, none of us. You couldn't get 30 people, and I don't care what country you're from, in a room and even agree on what the best beverage is. And they're designers. It's their job to produce a video game to the best of their ability. So I think some of you, when I say you, I don't know, you know, I'm not, if you're watching this, it may not be new, but some of the people on the forum are really getting kind of nasty to the devs and just really, really trashing the game because of a design decision that I personally agree with. Because one, they're trying to make a go of this with multiplayer. You cannot function in a game like this if multiplayer is turn-based. I'm sorry, you just can't. I mean, there might be some hardcore of the hardest core out there that's got some friends that can sit down and play for months on end. But you got to understand that's the exception, not the rule, to the gaming community. Most average gamers, and now when it comes between casual and hardcore, I would consider myself to be about between casual and hardcore, about 70% towards hardcore. You know, maybe a little less depending on exactly what your perception of hardcore and casual is. Oh, I don't want any more troop transports. Oh man, why do I? Okay, hold on one sec. Let me finish this, and then so I can stop talking about it. How are we building troop Oh, the Marines get built pretty quick. That's interesting. All right. Well, I don't know how many turns this has been. Okay. Anyways, disregard. Colony ship. This is what I want to be building. All right. And so, in terms of the multiplayer aspect, it just can't be turn-based. It takes too long. And I think there's a huge nostalgia factor about the turn-based combat. But if you really look back on it, was it really that great? And I'm going to argue to you, it wasn't. I mean, it was kind of neat a few times, but the in-game grind, the turn-based combat got ridiculous. I mean, it was just insane. And I remember, and another thing is when I played that as a kid, I could take an entire 4-day weekend and do nothing but play Masters of Orion for 4 days straight. I've gotten older and I can't do that anymore. Even though you see me playing a lot, it's because I'm wanting to get this established, and I still take time every day to play with the family and do stuff. And okay, so right here is where Worf is going to say an extra word. Okay, so not a big deal, you know. Okay, so let me be clear. I'm not calling that a big deal, but it's just a minor thing that would be a really easy fix. Just go to the file where the text is at and add, astounding. And I'm just bringing it up because it's an alpha build, and while I don't actively participate in the sense I don't necessarily proactively send in bug reports and stuff, if I have something on the screen that asks me to, I of course will do it. I'll send in a bug report. And then on top of that, entering a Let's Play, if the developers do wind up watching it, I think it's just good to point that kind of stuff out. So, and another big thing is there's a misunderstanding. So there was a comment by a developer that said they were making the game so that we could play with our kids. And that was mistaken by somebody to say this is a game for kids. No, and I can tell you from experience, and I posted about this already, you might have read it, my daughter wants nothing to do with watching me play Galactic Civ 3. She loves watching me play certain video games. Galactic Civ 3 is, or any of them, is not one of them. But she enjoyed watching this game. She really liked sitting down and watching me play this game. You may not have realized it, but during the last Let's Play, she was kind of in the background watching because she really liked it. And afterwards, I kind of started another game and messed around with it with her. Yeah, why not? And that's their market. It is, and it's a market that makes sense. If you wanted to play a hardcore 4x game, then that's what Galactic Civ is there for. That's just the facts, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, we're all entitled to our opinions. I'm not saying that people who have expressed their opinion are wrong. Obviously, that's their belief, and if that's what they believe and what they want, it is. But I think people have gotten really nasty to the developers, and I think as gamers, a lot of us have gotten spoiled over the years. I mean, I try to really remember what things were like when even a decade ago, and it just seems the more and more capabilities that we have, the more and more we expect, and I just wish that as a community, because here's what happens when we start getting all upset over little things and overreacting. One, all we're doing is not only say justifying, but enabling that game, the gamer, crazy gamer opinion that a lot of non-gamers have, and even a lot of developers have had. And where that's dangerous is that, well, not dangerous is also too strong a word, but where that's hurtful is that sometimes there are legitimate issues that the community brings up on various games. And I have already observed on occasions where those issues are not taken seriously because they're dismissed by developers as just, spoiled gamers being spoiled gamers. And he's on strike. Why is he on strike? Oh, our morale just... I have no idea why that happened, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't know if it's because it's a different planet or something, but let's go ahead and... how's that? Is that going to get everybody back to work? Yeah, 0 on strike. Okay. It's everybody back to work, which is the most important thing. So I'll kind of stop babbling about it, but and if you don't agree with me, that's obviously just fine. But in my perspective, I think we need to start looking at the positive side of things as a gaming community better than I think a lot of gamers do. And it's okay to voice your opinion, perspective, and what you'd like to see, and have a discussion about it. And you, of course, can have an opinion and should have an opinion and be honest about it. But getting nasty about stuff because you just don't agree with a design decision the developer made, there's probably a reason they made it. And while I'm not saying they're always going to be right, they're the ones who are making the game. They're making the game, and you have the choice to buy it or not. And you can say that you're not going to buy it because of this, that, or other, but you don't have to be nasty about it. But all right, I've run on. Sorry, I've run on enough about that. I was just very discouraged by just how toxic some of the posts were in the Masters of Orion forum. Because for me, I'm just ecstatic to get to play this game again in the sense for two reasons. One, even if they just re-released the original, I couldn't. I've tried. Modern computers were so powerful, and nobody rewrote the code, and I have no idea how to write software. and I couldn't play them on my computers. So I would have been ecstatic if they just re-released the originals. And to have a this under development for me is just awesome. And for those of you who say it's overpriced, I'm not going to disagree with you. You know, if that's your perception, but you know, if it's overpriced, then don't buy it and wait for a sale. And I'm not saying that to be crass. It's just that's just the reality. Everybody has, I don't know how many of you have done a take an economy, but the reality is not we don't all value the same things equally, and that's just kind of how it goes. So to me, the game was worth what I paid for it, especially with what it came with and what I view it to be. It will likely be in the future. But if it's not for you, well, that's why that's why I'm doing the Let's Play. Really, not the only reason, but it's one of the many reasons. So you can look at the game if you haven't purchased it yet, and go, wow. I either think it's worth it, I like it, or you can go, not for me or not for me yet, and make it a purchasing decision. And if you're someone who has bought it already and are upset what you paid for it, the best thing I can tell you is, do your homework. I'm not trying to be nasty. I'm really not. But at the end of the day, don't blame the developers or people who support the game because you made an uninformed purchase decision. You knew it was early access. Nothing about, these things that are getting asked for were never promised. It would be one thing if they were promised and then reneged on, but nothing that people are asking for has ever been promised. So I just don't understand the anger going on right now with it. And I keep talking about it too, just trying to talk and keep things entertaining, as this is a pretty boring part of the game. Okay, so let's... Yeah, clicking on next turn buttons gets old pretty quick. Blockade on... Man, where are these pirates coming from now? Alright, I think I'm just going to try and get at the moment, something in every city. Or every... Alright, let's get him up here. And where did that space pirate come from? Did they already put a new base up there, or what? So it's looking like you don't want to leave systems abandoned just for the annoyance factor, is kind of what I'm observing here. Alright. Morale plus 15%. Well, just in case pirates start bothering us, let me learn our lesson from last game. And that would just be horrendous if... Oh no, pollution. Or it looks like we're having pollution issues again too. Alright, see, look, boom! And I really can't wait to get with some bigger ships and start slugging it out. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And once again, complaints about the AI is another great example. It's an early access game. I don't know what to say other than that. Whoops, and I was trying to do the wrong thing. I don't know at what stage in the development process, AI is really dug into, but it's an early access game. They make it very clear up front. And I have seen so many shady early access games that you've had toxic developers that deserve to be treated the way these developers are being treated, and that's another thing that makes me upset. I believe this is a legitimate, well-meaning development team that is doing the best they can, and if you've got that much anger towards them, and when I say you, once again, I'm not necessarily talking to you actually watching this if these opinions don't apply to you. So if someone has that, maybe, if they're that angry, I would kind of ask them, okay, well, go direct that anger. It says 0 on strike. But, okay, go direct that anger to some people who really deserve it. Go look up the developers of Cat Simulator. Do some research on them and all the shadiness that's been going on with many different garbage pieces they've thrown up for a quick buck. Spend that anger there, I guess, if you're going to get that angry about stuff. My 2 cents. All right, well, what else can I talk about? So, because, we're getting, I guess I'm diving in a little negative, which is something I don't want to do. All right. So, actually, one of the things that's been really cool for me is I've been getting, so I've got some subscriptions. I've been getting some emails, some requests for video games, which I like. And what's really neat is some of the comments and subscriptions and communications have come from people all over the world, which I love. I am American, but I'm not your typical, Trust me, there are plenty of Americans out there I don't like either, and I have understanding based off how some Americans act as to why we have such a bad rap globally. Please understand that I am fairly liberal, even though I was in the Army, and hold on one second. Can we colonize? Nope, we can't. Okay. And I'm a firm believer that one day we need to kind of have come together as a globe to do things like solve global warming. And I don't want to get into politics. My point just being, I really enjoy knowing that people from all over the world are coming in to look at the site. Because I'm a firm believer that diversity is what makes things interesting and what develops growth as people, because all those different perspectives create different ideas, and those different ideas put together or what kind of come together to make just grand things. And we learned our lesson last time. We need to start cleaning up again. So first, let's get this built, and then I'll start the pollution cleanup. And for right now, we'll have to end the colony ship. Oh, that's us, isn't it? Oh, that's cool. Not us. Okay. Interesting. Orbital shipyard. What's that going to help? Okay, ship cost down. We have to have a planet with a moon. That's interesting. Okay. Alright, that's obviously really useful. Oh, we can only pick one of them. Is that what this is? Or maybe in this situation. Well, we're already got a production bonus for our race, and I don't think we're ever going to catch up scientifically anytime soon. So let's just, if we can't go toe-to-toe with them, let's be able to... let's be able to overwhelm them if we can. Alright. Alright, well, we've gotten a little closer to where we need to go, I guess. We're wanting to get down here, so alright, well, let's just keep rocking on. Okay, let's leave him here for right now, so hopefully no pirates will show up. Say show Q. That's okay, so we can do that. That was... I don't like to do Qs early in the game, but later on you do. So I'm glad we are, they're sticking with the ability to do that. I'm still trying to figure out why this guy's on strike when it says he's not. Alright, well, what if we do one population? Oh, now we have 0 on strike. See, that strike guy didn't show up anywhere over here. Okay, anyways, right now I'm worried about production, not making money. And I'm not exactly sure why our morale's lower there either. I'll have to look into that at some point. I'm not going to worry about it right now, though. But, let's build this, though, and get our morale back up. And then maybe we can raise our taxes again. That might be useful. Ooh, we found Orion, it looks like. Right behind. All right. So for any of you who may be watching that have yet to play the game or haven't played the original, I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's probably not a spoiler to tell you that Orion is an important planet when the entire game is called Master of Orion. So I don't think I'm spoiling it to kind of mention that, I wouldn't think. Alright. But as we go through, you'll see. But there's just a lot of benefits to figuring out the secrets, being the first one there and stuff. But there's a lot of dangers to it too, and I'll leave it at that. And hopefully we'll get to be able to observe all that. Okay, still got that space worm down there. gonna pirate base, another pirate base. Ugh. Bye bye. All right, so that's what are we looking at? Not great, not horrible, but I'm going to colonize there and pull this guy forward so we can maybe stop having to deal with these freaking pirates. Well, actually, no, I'm going to leave him here. Well, no, I better clear up down there just in case. I'm going to see, though, if we can colonize, just kind of colonize further just to get it done. Choose production. Let's get another colony ship going. Okay, so let's go ahead and do some pollution cleanup now that we've got that. So it did reduce our pollution, but now we need to start cleaning up our pollution. All right, that's cleaning up, pollution cleanup, and it's still going up. Hopefully that'll change next turn. I'll have to be sure I check on that. Orbital shipyard requires an initial moon to 2. Okay. Any other? Let's get the star base up first. And as I said, what it really should be doing right now too is getting the efficiency of the planets up a little more. But I don't think that would be fun to watch, and I think we're going to be fine. Besides, as I've said before, I play more for fun than anything. And as I said, if watching me do this part isn't exciting, you obviously can fast forward to where this gets interesting. Problem is, I don't know where that's going to be yet, so we'll have to figure it out. All right. Automated factory. Always, or not, I won't say always, but 90% of the time is my first build. Next turn, and let's see if we increase. Oh, so we're getting in the red now, so we gotta be careful. So we got a guy on strike, but unfortunately, there's not too much I can do about that at the moment because I don't want to be losing money every turn. So the thing about being, another reason I want to expand, so those research facilities just give a base 3 as opposed to the original, which kind of gave a base research and then added 2. The first building, it looks like, just gives a base plus. Whoa, that was not that I'm complaining, but that was unexpected. Let's see what's going on. How did that happen is kind of my next question. As I said, I bet it's because of this. All right, I'll check that in a second. I bet it's got something to do with... Okay, tachyon scanner. Okay, so it's probably got something to do with these new scanners we've gotten. That's the best. That's the most realistic thing I can think is going on. So having a lot of planets helps when it's just a base plus 3 with those research facilities, and then the next one up gives a +1 per population, but I don't think gives it a base. So I kind of like that. You can't just blindly be putting stuff down. It needs to make sense with your planet. Even though I'm currently blindly putting stuff down. As you see, money's kind of an issue right now, so let's go ahead and start getting some of those built. Hopefully I've got at least one colony ship building somewhere, because we still got plenty of planets to colonize, I think. All right. Clickety, clickety, clickety. And I'm thinking, for better or for worse, I'm just going to get really aggressive once we get the thing built and can go. It may not be the smartest thing to do, especially since it looks like we're highly out-teched, but I think it'll be fun either way. So, if you've seen a couple of my other Let's Plays, you obviously know I don't like to lose, but I don't mind losing. Sometimes it's more entertaining to get yourself in trouble and try and figure your way out. Anyways. Okay, so what are you doing here? Is this, where is this? Alright, pollution, we'll have to keep an eye on that. Yeah, let's get our planet built up. Alright, for right now, let's just keep building colony ships. At some point, I think I'm going to want to start building some of these defenses on the planet, but as of right now, it's not, people can't get to us and we can't get to them, so there's no point right now in making it a priority. Okay, so for example, this is production per cell. Not going to help us too much here. I mean, it's not completely useless, but it's not worth the 19 turns it's going to take to build it. So, okay, so this is good. So we can get our food situation up here, it looks like. So I'm not going to complain about that. Alright, so let me see if we can get some stuff queued up now that we've got so many planets. Because if I don't start queuing stuff, it's just going to turn into a mess. Alright, well, might as well just go ahead and... Alright, so the only planet I never queue no matter what is the home planet, or I guess the more accurate thing would be the most developed planet would be the more accurate statement, which is typically going to be the home planet, especially at this stage in the game. And I probably should have put that research first. Can I do that? Oh, okay. So that's neat. So if you want to change stuff around, just pull and drag. I mean, that's a good design decision too. I like that. Okay, you can read that if you really want to. I do like listening to Worf, but... Okay, I'm not going to be trying to build a lot of military outposts, by the way. The reason being is I want to be aggressive. If I were playing a more defensive role, I absolutely would. But if I've got production available to brew something, it's going to be right now to help us grow, or it's going to be getting military ships. It's just my logic. So let's see. What is he at anyways? Alright, this could be crazy. I'm not going to lie to you, but... why don't we see if we can combine our fleet and take out that space monster? No promises. I got no promises, but at least we can put something interesting in here. Alright, come on. And I still haven't figured out if you can retreat or not either, by the way. I just don't know. What is that? Alright, so we finally met another race, so if you've never seen the game before, at least we're going to meet somebody else. So let's go with the diplomacy and see what he's got to say. Now, I don't care what goes on. When we get the chance, we're going to kill him. But for right now... Oops, okay, well, let me start building. Let's get everything up, and then we'll do that. Ursa Prime. Okay, I'm just going to get this stuff built just to get it built. And then I'm going to go back to make another colony ship. So that way, we can just maximize the facilities on that planet. And just the same thing here. Just let's just get it done, even though it's not necessary right now. Alright, so colonize there. We cannot... Oh, we can colonize there. Oh, no, we can't. Or can we? You know, I never really realized. Okay, so it's a gas giant, so there is no biome. I'm going to assume we can't colonize there. I'm just going to make that assumption. Artifacts here, so I might as well start seeing that there. Maybe we can get some... We'll help our science out. We'll see if we can catch up. And as I said, these are not, you know, going to be high yield planets, but every little bit counts. And the key thing goes back to like those research stations. It doesn't matter where they're built; they give you 3, just base 3. So even on these little moons, they're still beneficial once you get them up. So that's kind of the logic of that. Build. Oh, and I need to get. Now that we've built some morale buildings too, let's see if I can put our taxes back up because I forgot to do that. No, I don't want to do that. I do, however. I'm going to do that, and then that, and that, and that. All right. Nice. Okay. All right, this is looking good now. Okay. All right, that's good. If they're announcing that, I think that means that we've probably taken over in terms of maximum population. So let's start again working on some money here too, so we can start rush building stuff if we have to. And let me go back 2 pop per unit. If we still got that 1 guy on strike, 3 people on strike. Whew, okay, we'll just keep it right there then. Gotta be careful because all the buildings I'm building, it's really going to increase our maintenance cost too. But another nice thing is look, you know, our logistics have gone up quite a ways, so we should be able to field a fairly decent-sized fleet by the time we're done as well, I would think. Orbital shipyard, yeah, we definitely want to get that built. That built. Ground batteries. Oh, I don't remember being able to build those before. So I guess anything that now what I'm not recalling, I'm wondering if those assist specifically for planetary invasions or also with the space combat. In the original Orion, in case you were tracking, they would assist with some planet defenses would actually help in space combat too. But I don't recall seeing a planet in any combat we've initiated or that's been initiated in us. So it may just be anti-invasion stuff. Oof. Hopefully we'll figure it out, because I really want to see an invasion. That's the one thing we really haven't done yet that I'd like to do. Oh yeah, I totally forgot to do that. So let's, what does he got to say? We're already... Now, and I don't know if that's, maybe it's dependent on your race, because when I was playing as the Cylons, I was starting off pretty decent, and that's, if you remember from last episode, the cat lady was much nicer to me, and this looks like this guy's probably not. Negotiations, how about establish embassy? Really? Will you exchange some tech? What can you give us? Or that, oh yeah, as I say, once again, I'm used to us being on the left. That part just keeps confusing me. Fusion bomb. Ooh, moon laboratory, because we can't have those right now, because we had to pick one. So that's kind of interesting too. I like that because basically, and I'll offer him, you know, I don't want him to outproduce this. Let's see if he'll take something. I mean, really, it would be a fair exchange. It really would, but will he take a colony that we can invade back? I wonder. Yeah, alright. Well, no point in declaring war yet, just because he'll just start mass producing, and there's nothing we can do about it. He can't colonize near us anyways, so we're just gonna stare at him from across the DMZ for a little bit until we're ready to do otherwise. Okay, and if the top is over 8,000, humans are at 6. We're still not looking good here. And if the Cylons have got the best strength fleet, they probably got the most technologically advanced one too, which is probably not good. All right, start getting some more colony ships built after we get those ground batteries up. Oh. So is it really just one planet? Because it says Empire. Not a huge deal, but okay. So now we've got eyes on him. So obviously, you know, there's something on Orion, and even if you never played the game before, you can probably figure he's not there to be friends when we show up. So. But I do like how they really kept the design of the Guardian over Orion very canon to the original Masters over Orion, which I thoroughly enjoy. He looks very similar and actually kind of better than the original, even in terms of design, not just in terms of pixels. Well, if you're gonna talk to me like that, I don't think I'm interested in dealing with you. Yeah. It's ill-advised for you to talk to me like that, Birdman. Alright, trucking along. Planetary radiation seal. We're just so. Okay, so is this a radiated world? Well, it protects us from bombardment. You know, I want to get another colony ship going, though. Maybe when we've colonized everything, I'll get back to building that. For right now, I think that's the most pressing need right now, is getting us some colony ships up, or back up. Because if we're gonna catch up to these guys after such a slow start, we're gonna need to really. We got 2 colony ships going, so there but we're still developing these guys. So, orbital shipyard. Might as well go ahead and get that up for when we need it. And I'll leave that for where it is right now. I'm liking how the turns don't take forever, too. That's another thing, once again, to bring back a GC comparison. As awesome as GC is, after kind of when you get to the mid to late game, I mean, dear Lord, pushing that... And I've got a pretty high-end rig, as I've explained before, just because instead of buying a really expensive car when I got back from Afghanistan, I bought a really nice computer to reward myself. And it still runs pretty slow for me. Well, the turn itself runs pretty slow, especially if you've got scanners. You know, the smart thing to do, obviously, is to have scanners up everywhere. But man, we have scanners up everywhere. It's got you got to wait for the ships to move, and especially when we're in a situation like this where it's just click and turns. So I really like how quick the turns are going. Okay, this is good. So we're definitely not the strongest yet, but we're about 33% bigger than the Cylons, who are the strongest. And we seem to be doing all right. So if we can kind of start this exponential growth curve, we might be able to get ahead of them. All right. My buy that for $1. Might as well go ahead and get this up and this up. So it's good to see that it looks like the research is coming in a little better. I'm going to check out kind of where we're at in just a second because I don't even recall exactly where we're at. So let's go take a look at the tech tree real quick. Alright, it looks like we're on our final leg of getting this. And it looks like the timing's going to be pretty good too, which I'm pretty happy with. My next priority is I want to start building those cruisers. So before we go to war, well, at least during the process of going to war, let's try and see if we can get those, if we can at least get some cruisers. Because I have a funny feeling that's going to probably be the minimum of, they're probably going to have those as well, I'm going to imagine. Can I buy that? Yeah, let's go ahead and purchase the factory just to get everything sped up a little bit. Okay, well, I don't know why I brought the troop transports over here. All right, well, Birdman was being mean, so I'm going to leave those right here so they're ready to go once we're ready to go. And what are we looking at here? I'm really curious to see how we do, but I don't want to go in and lose all our destroyers. I just don't. So we'll hold off on that for right now. I suppose I could build some more destroyers. I think we're getting close to having everything colonized that we can colonize. Alright. I need one. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, and then eventually, alright, 4. Eventually 5, but right now 4. Alright, so we need to get 4 more colony ships set up in the short term here. Let's just go ahead. Alright, choose production. As you can see, pretty consistent with my build orders usually, unless I get fast. Like usually I like to build the research factory second. But it's all kind of indifferent at this point. Let's go ahead and get our factory built. Get the hollow simulator up, and then let's start working on colony ships for a second. Alright, so we're all good up north, essentially, right? Yep. Okay, so we just... Well, I guess north is kind of... North doesn't really apply in space, come to think about it, so... But, relative to my computer screen, I'm going to talk like north is north. Alright. Moving along pretty smoothly at the moment, which I'm definitely appreciating. As I said, I know it's not the most exciting stuff, but that's just kind of part of a turn-based game, and I wish we could be doing more right now. We can't be. Just still waiting on that technology to get built, or to get researched. Okay. Colony ship. And once I've got every planet we can colonize, then I'm going to just go back to military production. And I don't think I'm going to build the planet defenses. Alright, good. So that's going to help us when we invade. Alright. Now we can go, it looks like. I'm hoping. I might just go ahead and start. Why not just start the war off? Okay, this is what I should have researched. Okay. So as I said, we might as well go ahead and now start getting cloning centers built. Yeah. Okay. You've gone and done annoyed me enough, I think. All right. Now, if I were truly, really concerned about this, I would want to build up for war a little bit more before we got started, especially since he can't attack us. I don't think. And we can. Well, that's a neat thing. So, even if we go in and get slaughtered, and I'm not saying we will. Yeah, I don't think he can attack us, can he? Oh, yeah, but we're not going to last too long right now. Oh dear Lord. Okay, well, it's going to be a fun fight when we get to it, but I don't think we're quite ready to get to it yet. Okay, so as much as I like to go and kind of do some stuff, I don't think that's realistic at the moment. Okay, what we can do is start working on getting our cruisers and building cruisers. Automated factory. I'm wondering if there's a hotkey for build 2. Can I do that? Nope. Or is there? Nope. Cloning center. Yeah, let's go ahead now that I know that they actually work the way they're supposed to. All right, we can build some cruisers now. That's awesome. And our armor went up. And this is a key thing too. So it basically every ship class from frigate to whatever starts with a base armor, and if you upgrade the armor, it gets a multiple of that. So just for those of you who weren't aware, yes, it could be. All right, what's next? What's next? Fusion weapons. Okay, well, money would be good too right now. And so the nice thing is looks like we're going to be able to start moving down the tech tree a lot faster. Okay, we're definitely moving down the tree substantially quicker than we were before, which I very much value. So that's another thing I like about Masters of Orion that you really couldn't do in GC. I mean, you could to a point. But in Masters of Orion, if you've got the right statistics and a good planet, there are strategies where you can have just 1 or 2 planets and actually be pretty successful. Whereas due to all of the ways to centralize, in GC, there are just so many ways to having the manufacturing capital and the research capital. And because of that, it was just so important to get a fairly decent number of planets, no matter what size you were playing on, because you essentially wanted to centralize every specialty, manufacturing, research, whatever, on one planet, and you typically want to make sure that planet had some bonuses of its own, and then you built buildings which enhanced the rest of the colony. And you, of course, when you have a colony-wide bonus, you want to put as many applicable buildings there as possible. So Galactic Civ is very much, I argue, you have to expand and expand hard if you intend to win. Whereas expansion helps, it's obviously very valuable, but there are strategies and things to do in Masters of Orion where you can be successful with, being a couple planets still. Though at the end of the day, it's of course always still better to have more. Don't get me wrong. All right. And buying is reduced by 20%. That's pretty nice if we ever need to rush something. Okay, let's go and get our fusion weapons and super alloys and advanced construction. What's that going to give us? Fighter bays. Ooh, battle pods. Okay. Oh, all right. I'm liking that. That's going to be on our list. So after we invade, we can get them working for us quicker. Now, my question is, can he travel to us now? Because if he can, we're pretty vulnerable up here. So we're about to find out, I'm thinking. Oh, nice. Okay. Alright, Ursa Prime is hopefully going to become very effective for us here shortly. And I know I need to start doing cruisers. I know we want to get to combat. I'm tracking. I just figured we might as well just... I want to make sure we got everything colonized. We can colonize and all that. And then I'll start. So it looks like we need... Alright. And then I don't think we need any more colony ships. Oh, yeah, we do. We need one more for this planet. And one more for this one. So 2 more colony ships right now. And we should be good to go. Well, I usually like the space weapons and stuff first for a couple reasons. One, I like the nuclear weapons just because I like to invade planets, and the more destructive bombs are not necessarily helpful. And then because they blow up stuff sometimes you don't want them to. And obviously, it's most important to control space, because once you've got space control, you can invade when you need to. All right. Oh, let's check out the cruisers too. So how much of a step up are those cruisers? Let's go figure that one out too. Let's just go ahead and get these ones. They're just real quick to research. So let's just, whatever they are, we'll just knock them out. Now, why did that go from 1 to 2? I wonder. That's weird. Okay, so the Cylons can travel through these space lanes. That's good to know. I might build a... So I'm going to go ahead, and as I haven't shown you yet either, so I'm going to go ahead and build a space factory first. And then... Alright, well that's going to help with ships, too, so... Hopefully the Cylons aren't going to... bend us over and take us from the rear. Sorry if that offended anybody. Alright. Okay, so super alloys. What's that going to give us? Reinforced hull. That's going to be helpful. We're going to want that. Obviously, heavy armor. Yeah, let's go with the super alloys. Alright, and there's some micromanaged stuff I could be doing that I'm not to maybe help with growth, but so the food we're getting those coming from buildings, I think, so really not much we could do there because of its biome for right now, I don't think. But I don't want to waste a lot of time really making each of these planets as efficient as they can be, because it's just, it's not fun to watch. Alright, reinforced hull multiplier, bonus resilience multiplier for I think the troops, right? Okay, good. Oh, yeah, I forgot once again to go look at the cruisers. So, advanced construction, what are we going to get here? Oh, yeah, that. Ion fission. Ion drive, okay. Yeah, oh, and an ion pulse beam. What's with it? Okay. That one, and then I'll get the... Well, I should have actually probably done the drive first, but it's okay. Oh, and speaking of that, let's go ahead and see if we can update. I keep forgetting. So let's upgrade our destroyers. I totally forgot about that. And that actually might let us take out the Space Worm now that we've, even though they're still destroyers, give them better weapons. So. All right. And I still haven't looked at the cruiser. I apologize. So I'm going to take these to... I'm assuming we can upgrade as long as we're at any planet. And we're about to find out. I don't know if you need a starbase or what, and I don't know if this has one, but... I guess we'll find out. I don't think it doesn't matter. Nice. All right. Oh, you know, these are good against in certain instances. I don't think they do much against like creatures, like animals, the flying space seal, for example. And I really, you know, I want us to be able to start outmaneuvering a lot better. Upgrade all. All right. Okay, well that's good. Liking that. I wonder if we'll have to choose between two things, but smarter scientist and terraforming, either one of those would be really good. Adios. Alright, let's go talk to the Silence too, by the way. I forgot to do that, so we'll go do that here in just a second. And once again, I'm mentioning it. Okay, I'm going to keep it in my head. Go look at the cruiser. Go look at the cruiser. Go look at the cruiser. Done. Now let's go look at the cruiser. Okay. Okay, I remember this time. All right, we got to look at the pollution here pretty soon too. So, what are we looking at here? So first, we're going to go to our destroyers. There we are, which are now Type 12. And we're looking at Mercolite missiles, which we were tracking. Proton torpedoes, nice. 1 fusion beam, 2 nuclear bombs. And our frigates are currently sitting at 2 mass drivers and a fusion beam. Not overtly effective. So let's look at our destroyers now. No, not our destroyers, our cruiser now. 4 Mercolite missiles, so 4 times the missiles. Fusion beam, same amount of fusion beams. Bombs, twice as many bombs. And 6 mass drivers. As opposed to what? As opposed to another photon torpedo. So quite the step up in firepower. And we got base hull point 60. Base, so once again, double of hit points, double survivability. 207 and 16 with 4 command cost versus 6 and 74. Once again, it's just, I think, a more, I haven't done the math, but it's looking like it's a much more effective thing. All right, soil enrichment. Are we at maximum population? Hold on, because if we are, there's not really much point. No, we're not. Okay, so. I know. I know. I want to go into fight, but I've say my OCD. I want to get. I want to max out at least one planet. I want to get one planet with everything built, and then I can guilt-free, just mass produce whatever we need to mass produce. All right. Okay, we get both of them. Awesome. Okay. I'm wondering, can we do control click? I haven't tried that yet. Nope. Yeah, it's still one at a time. It's okay. Okay, thanks. So it looks like effects of pollution don't necessarily have to be permanent once you get terraforming, if I read that right. Of course, I'm not sure I read that right. All right, so upgrade. Yes, and yes.